I want to bring to the stage Nancy Todd. And Nancy is from oilsfirstblog.com. She is a homeschool mom, has raised boys, and also really passionate about helping people learn how to live healthy through the power of essential oils. And so, Nancy, thank you so much for coming on today and being part of this. I'm so excited to share your story with others. Welcome to Handprint Legacy Live.
Thanks so much, Katie. It's been so delightful to learn from you. And like you said, I am a homeschool mom of 3 boys. My youngest is just recently gone to college. And so that has freed some time up for me that I knew, of course, was coming. But my business with essential oils was very low key. It wasn't a high priority, but I sure love what God is doing through essential oils in our lives and in other people's lives as well. So I had this big idea about what I wanted to do, because what I wanted to do was meet a need that I felt I had in my life while I was raising my boys. And that is that I don't always have time to take a class when the class is available. I want to have it so that I can take it when I want to take it. So it's sort of like a membership that I would have, and people could that way learn when they wanted to. Um, but I was stuck. I kind of knew some systems that I wanted to use, but I would I really know how to use them? Would I put money into this and then not do anything with? I've done that before. Sure, I'm not unlike anybody else in that way. And so, I was feeling the lack of my abilities. And so one day randomly, Katie came across my Facebook page, and I was delighted to see someone speaking so freely about God and God in her um, business. And I'm just going, I've been taught with all the classes I'd taken that wasn't really something people wanted to know about, or you shouldn't be sharing that. And so I signed up for the master class, and I was thrilled. I mean, I was just blown away with how she was presenting to me and what she was breathing into me. And so I thought, okay, you know what? I'm inspired. I can do this. I can just take my stuff and go back to the things that I knew, and I would do that. But of course, there was the Handprint Legacy Live in the fall that was going to be available. And I'm just going, I don't think I have time for that. I was busy. I do a farmer's market. We have a farm and a ranch. And so I'm just going, I don't think I have time for that. But this little voice in my head would not leave me alone and saying, hey, you got to do this. It's good. This is the next step for you. And she's a Christian, and I'm just going, no, I just can't do that. And so then the next thing I knew, I find out the price, and it's going, come on, this is not hard for you to do. This is easy for you to do. So I thought, okay, I'll sign up. I'll show up for a couple of sessions, and I'll get something out of it. And, that'll be good. I'll be okay. I obeyed the voice that was telling me to join. And so I did. And yet again, just like we're experiencing here, all of this information was so powerful. And it was just like, it was so much more than I expected. And so it just makes sense for me to want to do more and to tap into this community and into Katie that was so consistent and so level with her teaching, that I knew I didn't have that in my life from other coaches that I had studied with. And so I am just so grateful that God has brought her into my life, and the other women that are in the group that we're in, that we can every week meet. We get spoken into, and we get encouraged. We get inspired with what the other gals are doing. And yeah, sure, there's sometimes that I'm crash coursing it in the morning before our call to say, oh, wow, I got this done, but there's so much more. And the clarity that I've got and the confidence that I've got to just keep going with what God has placed in my heart to do, even though it seems so out of character for me. And so I am just grateful to God for what he's done. And a verse came to mind this morning for me, and I wasn't trying to, pick a scripture out just to plug it in, but not forsaking the gathering together of Christians or believers. And I'm just going, that usually we apply to church. But it was so phenomenal to think of this in this same capacity, that we can have that fellowship, we can have that bond, and we can and grow and do what God has placed on our hearts. So I'm 100% grateful for Katie and for the other women in our group.
Yeah. And to see you grow over the last 6 to 9 months and working with you has just been amazing. And the impact that you're having there in your local community, and to see you grow as a business owner, and the clarity that you had, because I remember coming in, you're a little bit all over the place now, and yet to see you focus in and to do the work and to go back and say, I did that, it could have been better, right? And to go back and tweak and do it
Right.
again and see that process of mastery playing out with you. And it's been so incredible to watch. What would you say to the people here today that are thinking like, that next step is just feeling really overwhelming right now? I don't know how to take that next step. What's the most important thing for them to do if they don't know how?
Well, to have support. I mean, and I didn't realize, I mean, with what I have with you is you're available to me. And when I have a question, I can contact you. And having that community, even if you're not available, there's other gals that we can do that with. So community is a big deal. I would say you got to do it. You got to be brave enough to step outside of yourself to do it. And that's not my personality. I would rather cave and stop and not do it than to push myself through it. But I've learned that that's not a doable thing. It's for some people that's not a problem, but for me, I would say, okay, I'm closing up the books and I'm heading home, or I'm just going to go do something else. But no, having that community, being accountable to somebody, is um, scary, and yet it's so profoundly impactful.
Love it. Love it. Thank you. And for all of you in this community, um, remember that these are your people, right? You found your people here at Handprint Legacy Live. Make connections with those folks this weekend. Stay connected so that you can go forward with community. Thank you so much, Nancy, for sharing with us your experience and the importance of that for you. Thank you very much.